Welcome family and friends, and thank you for gathering here in this special place that was so loved by Sue Ann. I'm sure she will forgive us for not being outside in the windy weather today. My name is Nerida Blackford and I'm honoured to lead you through today's service. I'd like to offer my deepest condolences to you all as Sue Ann's family and friends, but especially to Robert, Bev and Ben. I was privileged to meet with many of Sue Ann's high school and university friends last week and heard lots of wonderful stories about her. She has certainly made an impact on many lives, and I understand how great your loss is. Today you've come together to support one another and help each other deal with the shock and devastation in the loss of a beautiful young woman. I would invite you all now to be together in silence as you each reflect on your own relationship with Sue Ann, and if you wish, write down a special memory of her on your cards, which will later be passed on to Robert and Bev. There will be a time during today's service that I will invite some of you to come forward and share your memories if you choose. Thank you, everyone. Today, we have to acknowledge the tragic death of a beloved daughter, a sister, a much-loved cousin and family member, a friend and student, a girl with a passion for the environment and a deep commitment to all that she believed, and a young woman with a willingness to share her smile and bubbly personality with anyone she came across. I know all of you here today are suffering. No doubt you have many questions and just cannot comprehend that someone who seems so full of life and with so many dreams for her future chose to end her days with you. It's very important that in the weeks and months ahead you care for each other and share your deep sadness. It's natural to have feelings of guilt and even anger about what has happened. Unfortunately, it is true that the questions you keep asking may go unanswered. Rob and Bev wanted these important messages they found online about depression and suicide to be included in the service today, and it is their greatest wish that we all learn from this awful event and that you be encouraged to seek support if you need it. Many people who are deeply depressed have difficulty realising that their life will eventually get better. It could be from a scientific breakthrough involving a new treatment for their condition, or something as simple as finding a new friend. We can recover from feelings of depression and pain. No one chooses to feel suicidal, but this feeling is a reality for many people. You may currently be in a lot of pain, but you never know what is in your future. It could be filled with more pleasure than you have expected, but if you follow through with suicide, you'll never get to experience that pleasure or even get to experience relief. I would like to share with you a poem by Cynthia J. called Why, adapted from the text He Gathers Broken Souls. In one moment in time, when all hope seemed far away, when despair weighed so heavily, there seemed nothing left to say, when confusion and pain were all that she could feel, she decided to leave all the illusions she thought were real. She forgot about the rainbows that follow skies of grey. She forgot about the kindness she witnessed every day. She forgot about the future she once dreamed could be. She lost sight of all the truth and reality. The fact that people loved her, the knowledge that they cared, the love they had to offer her, the the many things she shared. The pain that she would cause just never crossed her mind. She only pictured solitude and the peace that she would find. Sometimes a gentle spirit in a world that's gone awry gets lost and cannot find its way, can't bring itself to try. It's hard for us to comprehend the meaning of it all. It would be so much easier to stop a stumble or a fall. If we could have seen inside her head and searched carefully, no evil would we find, just discontent, confusion, pain and fear and sorrow, with no hope for today and no vision of tomorrow. No malice, little forethought, just decisions made in haste. It's difficult for us to understand this senseless, needless waste. There will be struggles and questions from those whom she adored, but for now the peace she sought is hers forevermore. Each of you here today had a unique and special relationship with Sue Ann. You have your own special memories that I hope will bring you peace and joy in the hard time ahead as you cope with her loss. You may hear Sue Ann saying things to you, or find yourself wanting to experience a new experience with her. You'll miss a laugh, her hugs, her own way of doing things. I understand you have not only had Sue Ann's immediate presence and company taken from you, but all your dreams for her future and your shared futures too. She will not go on to marry and have children. She won't graduate from uni and complete her many plans, or be able to see you grow older and achieve your ambitions. Sue Ann may not be there physically when you celebrate important life milestones in the future, but I know you will think of her and feel her spirit with you at these times, and I hope that will bring you some comfort. Please make sure you continue to talk about Sue Ann and share your stories about her. Speak with her family about her and continue to keep in touch with them. It will help you all in grieving her loss. For Sue Ann's younger relatives, we want you to understand that funerals are sad events, especially when we've lost someone so young or under tragic circumstances. But it is also a time to celebrate a life, a chance to share fondest memories and honour someone we cared about. We can share not only tears, but smiles and laughter. When we now think about Sue Ann's life, what is a legacy? I would like to invite two speakers to come forward and share their special memories of Sue Ann. Vicky is Sue Ann's cousin and best friend, and Adam is a friend from university. After Vicky and Adam have spoken, we will have about 5 minutes where anyone else who would like to come forward and share their memories of Sue Ann are welcome to do so. I'd also encourage you to share those memories when you later go to Rob and Bev's home. Vicky and Adam.
Thank you. Sue Ann's my big cousin and someone I looked up to and could always depend upon. My favourite memories are of sleepovers at Uncle Rob and Auntie Bev's place. Sue Ann would spend a lot of time playing with me and playing hairdressers. And when I was, sorry, can we start that bit again? Can you
Just keep going, that's fine.
Okay, I love Suzanne. She's my big cousin and she's always been someone I looked up to and depend upon. My favourite memories are of going to Auntie Bev and Uncle. I'm having a really lot of trouble.
Yeah, just keep going. I can edit this out.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So Anne was my big cousin and is someone I looked up to and could depend upon. My favourite memories of sleepovers at Uncle Rob's and Auntie Bev's house. Sue Ann would spend a lot of time with me playing hairdressers when I was little, and then when I was older she'd let me play with her makeup. I could talk to her about anything and I'll miss that the most. I found this poem that seems to reflect how I feel today. Okay. It's called Memories of You, and the author is unknown. I remember everything about you. Your voice, your smile, your touch, the way you walked, the way you talked, the way you looked at me meant so much. I remember all the words you said to me, some funny, some kind, some wise. All of the things you did for me, I see now with different eyes. I remember every moment we shared, seems like only yesterday, or maybe it was eons ago. It's really hard to say. You're gone from me now, but one thing they can't take away, my memory resides within my heart and lights up my darkest days. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky.
Hello everyone. Like many of you here today, I've only known Sue Ann for 2 years, but in that time she's made a big impact on my life. We started at the University of Wollongong together, doing the same course in environmental education. Sue and I ended up sitting together for a lot of the lectures and realised we were both passionate about educating kids on environmental issues and sustainable living. We did a prac together at a local school involving gardening, and we had a ball. From then on, we were best of friends and used to love bouncing ideas off each other and sharing latest ideas on how to be responsible with our planet. We used to have a competition where we had to create a new way of decreasing our carbon footprint on the earth. One of Sue's greatest solutions was just to stay in bed all day and do absolutely nothing. I can't believe though, for someone who loved nature and the land so much, that she was scared of worms. She'd scream and run around like crazy if you dangled one in front of her. Whenever we did gardening together, she would get me to check for worms before she'd plant anything. I'd always remember that loud scream that usually turned into a giggle when she was embarrassed about being what a sook she was.
Thank you, Ellen. I would now invite anyone else who would like to share their memory to come forward. And I've just allowed about 5 minutes in the service for that to happen. Thank you everyone for sharing those memories with us. I now invite Sue Ann's brother Ben to present a family tribute to Sue Ann.
On behalf of Mum, Dad and myself, I'd like firstly to thank you all for being here today and during the last week. I have to be honest, it's felt like we're caught up in a nightmare. We still expect to hear from Sue Ann any moment. We know a lot of others also are shocked and cannot believe this has happened. But we have to look after each other and try to make sense of what has happened in our own way. When Mum and Dad and I sat down to work out what to say today, we cried a lot, but we also laughed and remembered lots of things we'd all done together in Sue Ann's 20 years. We looked through lots of photos and we're glad Mum always had a camera in her hand for any event, even just normal days at home. So we had many photos to help us build a treasure of great times and memories. We've looked at them a lot over the past week, and some of them you'll see in the photo tribute later on. Sue Ann was my little sister. She arrived on April 16th, 1999, when I was 5. So I remember when Mum and Dad first brought her home. I loved her from the first time I visited her in the hospital at Maxwell. I couldn't believe how small she was. I also couldn't believe that she didn't do much for a long time. I thought we'd be able to play as soon as she came home, but I had to wait for a while for that to happen. But once she could crawl, walk and run, we had great fun together. I guess some older siblings might have been annoyed by a baby wanting to follow them around everywhere and do what they were doing, but I loved it. A lot of you know Sue Ann had a way of looking at you, and you could see in her face just how much she loved you. I don't mind admitting it was nice to be idolised by my little sister. Once Sue Ann started school, she made lots of her own friends. but we've always been really close and enjoyed the time with just the two of us. Mum and Dad really didn't have to worry about sibling rivalry or jealousy. We loved doing things together and helping each other out. Sue Ann would always come to see me play footy, and I'd support her in her sports and adventures as we grew up too. She was a terrific netball and hockey player, and even though she was a kind and gentle kid, when she was on a court or playing for a team, the devil in her would come out and she was fierce. She always played by the rules, but she was a tough competitor. It's great that so many of her school friends have been in touch with us this week. We really appreciate it. Sue Ann went to Maxwell Public and high schools and did well in sport and academically. She developed her love of the environment, I think, from all our family holidays. At the start, we both whinged that we were made to go on bushwalks or trekked up an ABM, as we started calling them, another bloody mountain. But as we got older, we really appreciated the beautiful places Mum and Dad took us to. Probably one of our favourite trips was when I was 14, Sue Ann was about 9. We went to the Northern Territory, had a great time, taking camel rides, doing helicopter flights over Uluru and going for an Aboriginal guided tour of Kutajuta. When Sue Ann was in high school, she was on the Student Representative Council and she worked with other students and teachers to create the first school veggie garden and composting system there. She organised working bees for the whole community to help build the garden plots. She went around the local shops, got donations of materials to build it, plants to help start it. She led the SRC in fundraising to buy worm farms and more equipment for the gardens once they took off. Not only did Sue Ann make all this happen at high school, she became the Enviro-Nazi at home too. She created a home system of bins where we had to put our rubbish or recyclables or things we could put in the compost. At one stage she even wanted to separate bins for different types of plastic and glass, but Mum said we didn't have enough room for all the bins. Adam, I have to admit, I may have been the reason Sue Ann always hated worms later on. I may or may not have put them in a bed, in her lunch boxes at various times during her teenage years, and she did develop a bit of a thing about them. Like I said before, Sue Ann had lots of friends through school, and our place always seemed to have lots of girls there, which was a bonus for me as her older brother. When I got my driver's licence, I used to take Sue Ann and her friends to the beach or to their hockey games, and I missed that when she was old enough to drive herself. Even though she was getting older and about to make some big changes in her life, we were still close and talked things through together. She was a bit scared to tell Mum and Dad that she wanted to go to University of Wollongong instead of staying near home and going to Coffs, but the program they offered down there was exactly what she wanted to study. Mum and Dad were really good about it though when she told them, and they helped pack her gear and went with her to get her settled in when she started. It was easy for them to cope with her leaving home because she was so happy at uni, and she still came home often throughout the year and always for holidays. Sue Ann always loves family events, but I'd say her favourites were her birthday and Christmas. On her birthday, she would expect a huge cooked breakfast to be eaten out under the gum tree near her house. She'd set the table in whatever way she felt like that year, sometimes in a colour theme, or if she had a current craze or crafty thing she was doing that would get used. I remember for her 15th birthday, she was into tie-dyeing with vegetable scraps for colouring, and she had hung up little triangle banners made from pieces she'd dyed, and she'd made the tablecloth herself. It was pretty hippie-ish, but she loved it, and it sure was colourful. After we'd have breakfast, she'd expect us all to hand her our birthday presents one at a time. She'd drive us crazy with how slowly she'd carefully unwrap the things, because of course she wanted to recycle the wrapping paper. It was the same at Christmas. For many years, Sue Ann tried to talk Mum and Dad into letting us open just one present on Christmas Eve. She'd write out a whole list of the reasons why we should be allowed to do it. It never changed from one year to the next, and it never worked. Until Sue was a young teenager, I guess she'd wore Mum and Dad down, and they were tired of hearing the same speech every year. Last year, Mum took some really lovely photos of all of us at home at Christmas Day. I had my new girlfriend Beck there, and Sue Ann had one of her friends from uni, Mishka, whose family were all overseas. Little did we know that would be our last Christmas with her. Sue Ann was doing really well at uni. Like Adam said earlier, she loved the idea of working in schools to promote living sustainably, and they had big plans. They both wanted to join up with a business like Bunnings and create a statewide program to provide support so schools could get set up when they wanted. Adam has promised he's going to see through this dream and make sure the plans he and Sue Ann had worked out will happen. This would be a wonderful legacy Sue Ann leaves with us. It was her passion from when she was a young kid and one of the family we supported and hope to see her achieve. And this is what we'll all now have to do. We all have to go on and make sure that we make the most of our time, our own skills and passions and our strengths. We have to make sure that we look after each other, support each other and make our own dreams come true. I know we will miss Sue Ann every day for the rest of our lives, and we'll never forget her. We love her, we were so proud of her, and it breaks our hearts that she's gone.
When someone we love dies, it's natural to think about how fragile life is. We consider our own lives and relationships and impact on others. Please let today be a reminder to live your lives to the full. Make the most of any opportunity that comes along. Share your thoughts and dreams and be honest with each other. Life is not always easy, happy and safe, but you all have people who would do anything for you. Lean on others if you need to. The love and friendship you each shared with Sue Ann is special. Let it bring you comfort in the difficult time ahead. It is the fact that you cared so deeply for Sue Ann that makes your grief and sadness seem so deep. I would like to share a quote from Dally Messenger. The event of death has a way of uniting us in a manner that perhaps no other human experience does. It reminds us of the importance of our relationships. It reminds us of the special and unique way in which we meet and share with those who cross our paths. You have all been made the richer for crossing paths and sharing part of your lives with this remarkable young woman. She will always live on in you, and her lasting impact will be in how you continue to live your lives. Again, Sue Ann's family wish me to acknowledge the immense support and love that they have felt from family and friends this week, and they ask you to be patient with them and yourselves as you grieve her loss. Sue Ann's family put together a special collection of photos to share with you all today as we reflect on her life. Many have been taken by Bev over the years, but you will also see many selfies Sue Ann took with you, her dearest family and friends. The presentation will be at the wake, which will be held at Rob and Bev's home at Sturdy Street. A table in the living room has also been set up with many of Sue Ann's treasured belongings from different stages of her life. Rob and Bev have asked that you look at those and share the memories they may bring back to you about their beloved daughter. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your presence here today. Let us all please stand as we conclude today's ceremony.